What up, fam? This your boy King Swift back with another episode of Swift Talk, man. What a legendary versus battle we had last night between Fat Joe, the Don Cartagena versus Ja Rule. I mean, man, it was a great battle, man. You can see the Jada Kiss effect was in effect in this versus battle. I mean, it was a lot of strategy, a lot of surprises that went on last night. So we just gonna get right into it, man. Um, Fat Joe versus Ja Rule. Both of these guys got a very extensive hit laden catalog. So, going into it, I thought Fat Joe had a slight advantage because he had a lot of underground records. He got big hits, lean back and all kind of stuff to sprinkle in there. And I thought Ja Rule was going, he just, some of those hits, I didn't think they aged as well as, and Fat Joe got recent hits, you know what I'm saying? All the way up and Sunshine and stuff like that. He just had a hit this year. Ja Rule, after 50 Cent came and kind of ended his little run. But classics, as he said, they last forever. So, I think Fat Joe came out with a Jadakiss strategy. I mean, he had Jadakiss DJ technician from the Locks battle. So, I think Fat Joe kind of, if you watched any of his interviews from the past, he always said he wouldn't do a versus battle. Because he get too emotional. He gonna MF and SOB and get real disrespectful. So he didn't think he would ever do a versus battle until he saw Locks versus Dipset, and he saw that they was cussing and it was still friendly. It was competition, but it never got overboard. So I think that kind of excited Fat Joe, and he got in and he did a versus battle, and he tried to use a lot of Jadakiss's strategy. But the difference between Fat Joe and Jadakiss is a lyricist, and Fat Joe isn't. Ja Rule isn't either. This was a battle really of what it came down to was memorable hits. Uh, Jadakiss, he could hit you with punchlines and oohs and ahs from the crowd. Neither one of these guys could hit you with the oohs and ahs. So I think it was the wrong strategy for Fat Joe to try to use Jadakiss, some of his stuff and his strategies when you're not the same caliber MC as a Jadakiss. So that kind of, it didn't really play well. And I think the thing about Ja Rule is he's not a lyricist either, but he is a great performer. He's still in great shape. I mean, seeing Ja Rule run across the stage last night, it reminded you of like a Tupac or DMX. I mean, shirt off, just, doing his thing. And he got a plethora of classic, memorable hits. I mean, this is Ja Rule, and, you know, I think he won. He outlasted Fat Joe. Fat Joe, he came out, I think in the beginning it was close. Both of them were playing some of their earlier stuff, kind of underground. But when Ja Rule got to rolling out his hits, Fat Joe was still holding back. You know what I'm saying? Like he held back, leaned back, and a lot of stuff when Ja Rule was coming with it. You know what I'm saying? He was bringing them out. Lil Mo, and a lot of stuff like that. And Fat Joe was still kicking the underground stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was a big difference. It was the middle of the battle to me that changed everything up. The beginning and the end were close, but in the middle, Ja Rule, I think he rattled off 10 straight hits, and Fat Joe was still kicking underground stuff. So the banter back and forth. I think Fat Joe, he said some real disrespectful stuff, you know what I'm saying? And Ja Rule, he was saying his stuff. I think Ja Rule, the back and forth, he might have got the best of Fat Joe on that. Fat Joe, Another thing he had to do, he had to take a break right in the middle of the verses, and that looked it like he was, tired, and he didn't have the energy. That looked it bad. So I think it was kind of close. It was close, but I got to give the edge in this battle to Ja Rule. I mean, I expected Fat Joe to win, but he didn't play his records right. He didn't line them up right. When Ja Rule got the ticking off those hits, he was still kicking songs that people didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You got to change up when you see that it's getting rough and the crowd. You know what I'm saying? If you were holding lean back, you might have should have brought it out sooner. You know what I'm saying? So that's I think that's what he miscalculated at. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, it was epic, man. Shout out to both of those guys for participating. It's just good old fashioned fun. You know what I'm saying? Some of these other rappers, they need to come outside, come out the house, Jay-Z. Put that catalog up, man. Let's see what's up. So, anyway, man, this Swift Talk, man. Another episode. Let's go.